NFL players versus wrestlers debate. Are you aware of what's going on with that whole debate?
Isn't there something about NFL players aren't as athletic as pro wrestlers or some stuff? So like, what
It's
is how does
it's
that?
it's the other way around. So this started a few weeks ago where Tom Brady and Logan Paul, because they're like advertising their big Saudi Arabia football league coming up, which
Oh
not
yeah,
happening in Saudi Arabia.
oh yeah, that could be a thing.
They have more important stuff going on over there, so they're doing
Hmm.
flag football. But um, Tom was like, he's like, I'm a real athlete. I was in the NFL. Like, you're just a wrestler. Like, wrestlers aren't real athletes. Like, he's like, you're very good at what you do, but like, we're elite. Like, we're a different level. And Logan Paul was they were kind of like going at it, and this became a thing online. So then Logan Paul says, I'll give $1 million to any NFL player that wants to fight me. Now, Logan Paul has done some boxing. He's a good athlete,
Good
but
wrestler.
yeah,
He's a good
good,
high
yeah.
school wrestler.
It, not a great boxer, but he's willing to fight for sure. Like the Paul kids are tough,
Mhm.
absolutely. So he just said to put up $1 million. Well, then Le'Veon Bell from the Pittsburgh Steelers, he's retired now. He says, "I'll take that." Le'Veon Bell's got knocked out by Jake Paul, like pretty viciously, but he said, "I'll take that." And Logan was like, "Well, you actually know how to fight, so I can't fight you because then I would have to train. I got to take off time." And so like these other NFL players like started answering the challenge, and then
Oh
like live
shit!
on the air, I guess Chris Legento called Logan Paul during his podcast and was like, "Hey, we're not gonna let you fight. Like, there's liability. You might get knocked out. We can't let you do it." So now the whole challenge is off. Well, um, AJ Francis and Moose have chimed in. He said NFL players are much better athletes than pro wrestlers, and I don't even think that's a debate. As a whole, like NFL players, because I think the threshold, the barrier of entry for NFL players is so much higher than it is as far as athletic ability is so much higher than pro wrestlers. It's not even funny. But here's where AJ Francis was like, he says, basically, he said that he could like NFL players can beat up any pro wrestlers, and I was like, hold on, wait a minute. And then like people started naming off wrestlers like Brock Lesnar and some other guys. They go, oh yeah, those guys can all kick my ass. But I'm talking about guys who've never fought before. So AJ's like, I can beat up people who can't fight. It's kind of where we're at now. But
This is the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life.
it's a dumb argument,
So
which is why
okay,
I wanted you to chime in on it.
there's so many like. First of all, athleticism and fighting ability aren't necessarily the same
Two
thing.
different things. Yeah.
Tank back in the day. Tank Abbott could whoop a motherfucker's ass.
Yeah.
Was not the greatest athlete in the world.
No.
Now to be okay,
Yeah.
let's get this straight. To be in the NFL, to play in the NFL, you have to be one of the finest athletes in the world. And on top of that, an amazing athlete with size.
Yeah. And not only
Like,
that, like you have to be like pretty smart because like there's
yeah,
so many different plays you have to learn and you have to learn what the other team's doing. You need to know leverage. You need to know like to be in the right position. It is a difficult game to play. That's why I never got past high school.
yeah. I mean, like it's on another level.
Yeah.
So now that being said, the average NFL athlete is significantly better athlete than the average NFL or the average
Average
professional wrestler.
for sure.
100%, 100%. Now, is Will Ospreay as good an athlete as most NFL football players? I think so. Will Ospreay's a hell of a fucking athlete.
Yeah. Ricochet. Yeah.
Ricochet, hell of a fucking athlete.
Which
Logan Paul, hell of a
yeah.
fucking athlete.
And AJ Francis said that. I think AJ Francis works a lot of indies and he sees guys who are like definitely not good athletes. Like, yeah.
For sure. Like,
yeah.
So I mean, like, absolutely. And a lot of times back in the day, a lot of times guys made it to pro wrestling because they couldn't make it in the NFL. That's just true.
Yes.
And I know now the tough guy thing is a completely different argument altogether. Like,
yes.
There are athletes there are professional wrestlers that can probably throw down. Like you wanna point and laugh at El Grande Americano while you want, sure, but Chaz Betts gonna fuck you up.
Yeah,
like
he will.
Chaz,
he will. Yes.
Chaz drop you on your freaking skull. That dude is legit.
Chaz would fuck up Le'Veon Bell 100%.
100%.
You know, and like Godilla, my man. Happy birthday, by the way. It was his birthday 2 days ago. Happy birthday, Godilla. Friend of the show. He brought up Bad News Brown. I was like, Bad News Brown
fuck you up.
Can beat up every football player that ever lived. 100%.
That was one of Canada's. He was one of Canada's greatest judokas. Like that man was an amazing. Judo is a hard physical sport.
Yeah.
That was a tough sumbitch. Like
Yeah.
there are pro there. I mean, I think people say, "Oh, back in the day, pro wrestlers were so much tougher." Like one,
No.
they cheated a lot.
Yeah.
Two,
Yeah.
like they would like poke you in the eyes. They would know how to stretch people and they would
Yeah.
fight dirty because you had to win. The street fight, you got to win.
Yeah.
Like, and it's a lot
There-
of legend, like a lot of legend stuff gets.
Yeah, there were like tough guys. Don't get me wrong. Like Brad Rangan's a tough guy, right? Like Brad Rangan's can fuck you up. Who was the guy that was like the shooter in Florida that would actually like wear people out in the gym before like letting the guys who can't fight like handle them?
Hiro Matsuda was that dude.
It was Hiro Matsuda. There was another. Yeah, there's another guy.
Mike Graham was one of those guys too. Mike Graham was.
Mike Graham. There was another guy who was like a legit like wrestler though, like a college wrestler. God, I can't remember his name.
Was it Bob Roop?
Bob Roop, yes. Like,
yeah,
he's a tough guy, right?
An Olympian.
Like, yeah. Guys like
Bob Roop was an Olympian. Yes.
Yeah. Nick Bockwinkel's not going to beat you up. Ric Flair's not going to beat you up. Hulk Hogan's certainly not going to beat you up. No. But like the toughest guys that ever existed in pro wrestling could beat up every NFL player that ever lived. Like Iron Sheik would fuck you up. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah. Brock Lesnar today at almost 50 years old can beat up every football player that's currently playing. The only football player they probably couldn't beat up would be Steve O'Neal, who defeated him in college, but like for the most part, like he's beating up everybody. Like, and I don't even think it's close.
And a fight at the moment, I think Brock, I just having seen Steve O'Neal last summer at Fargo. Brock's winning that fight today. He just lost a lot of weight. But Steve O'Neal was a much better wrestler than Brock was. Like, that's the thing that was like fighting. Are we talking, when we say fighting, that means something different. Like if you fight, are we talking like a street fight? Are we talking boxing? Are we talking MMA? Like
boxing. Yeah, boxing is different. Like street fight. Here, look, Le'Veon Bell versus Prime Harley Racer Haku. Haku would eat your eyeballs.
Haku is an actual like warrior. Harley Race is a tough dude. Haku is a sumo.
Yeah, but like, Harley Race is like smoking a cig. I think Le'Veon Bell probably takes out Harley. Mm-hmm. And I love Harley. He's one of my favorites, but Haku's a little. He's like Haku is mean. You know what I mean? Like nicest guy in the world, but like Le'Veon Bell doesn't have a mean streak in him. Like he's not going to take a pull cue and hit you over the head. Haku would, and he would gouge your eyeballs out.
I truly believe if Haku had grown up today, he would be one of the most elite UFC heavyweights of all time because he was a really good athlete.
Yeah,
he was
rugby,
right? Shit, rugby, and he did sumo.
And sumo, yeah, yep, for sure.
So I mean, he was a martial artist. He was super tough. He just came up in the wrong era to like really take advantage of that. Haku would have fucked people up. Like, and again, it is all legend. Scott Steiner would fuck people up.
Yeah, Scott and Rick both. Like everybody that ever played in the NFL, Scott and Rick would take him out. Could the Road Warriors? No,
that was all gimmick. They were bodybuilders.
They were coked up bodybuilders. They're not beating anybody up. But and so I think when like
I don't know, Hawk had a reputation in the locker room as a guy who could fight. So I mean, but
Too Cold Scorpio didn't believe him. Yeah,
that's true. Too Cold Scorpio whooped that ass. I did forget about that. That's true. It's just different when you talk about fighting. Like, what does that mean? And fights themselves are so weird and random. Like you're just talking like a regular street fight. That's just about survival and who's willing to get really fucking dirty. You know, I don't know.
Well,
man.
I think Le'Veon Bell is trying to get himself into pro wrestling, which kudos. Like this, I think this is a way to this is a way to do it if you want, because he retired from the NFL. He tried boxing and he got worked over by Paul. But look, he said he's trying to say I would throttle Seth Rollins, but he tagged Seth Rogen. I just wanted to show everybody that.
Yes, he's right. He would tag. He would fuck Seth Rogen up. He's right about that.
Yeah, but that's the level that we're talking about here. Of
to be fair, he would fuck up Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins is like a tough guy.
Yeah. No, Seth Rollins is not a tough guy. No, yeah, and he's tagging everybody that he could whoop, and like so. Then the argument became like well, if you take away all the wrestlers that can fight, like NFL players are beating up everybody else. Well, like okay, like I guess you can have that.
Sure,
yeah,
I'll go with that.
If you take away all the guy, like you take away Kurt Angle and Shelton Benjamin and Bobby Lashley, like, and that's the one thing that. That's the thing that AJ Francis said. He goes like, I fully acknowledge that Matt Riddle and Kurt Angle and Lesnar, they could all beat my ass. But I think he's like thinking of like, like Ricochet's not beating me up. I was like, of course not. Like I've met AJ.
Christian's ass.
Yeah, I've met AJ Francis. He can beat up most people. Like he's a large man,
dude,
and he's a great athlete, by the way. Really good athlete, defensive tackle.
Yeah.
had legit reps in the NFL. Like underrated athlete. Like, yeah.
But again,
like,
that doesn't mean you can fight. It doesn't mean
Yeah.
like I've seen a lot of fights.
Hey, I just want to acknowledge this is the dumbest thing we ever talked about on the show. By the way, it's
this
just
is it.
total meathead conversation. But
This
I
is
like,
it. This is my
the
dad
whole-
beat up your dad. This is
this is the whole like who's tougher, Muhammad Ali or Bruno Sammartino, right? Like,
Muhammad Ali.
yeah, of course.
Even with,
yeah,
and Bruno was a tough dude. Don't get me wrong, but
he wasn't like
Ali
a
was-
legit.
no,
Bruno wasn't a
Muhammad Ali-
shooter.
No, he was not a shooter. And Muhammad Ali was the greatest boxer that ever lived. Like,
Yeah.
you
Oh.
can't even have this.
So here's a good example right here. The Vader Orndorff fight is hilarious and completely removes Vader's toughness. First of all, Vader's still tough, but
yeah.
Paul Orndorff is a motherfucker. This is
Oh.
different levels.
This is what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Like, just because Paul Orndorff beat Vader's ass doesn't mean Vader isn't tough. It means
Yeah.
Paul Orndorff was insanely tough. And that's
Yeah.
like he had a Paul Orndorff, like
Can
didn't he
you
have
can you just tell the story real quick of what happened with Paul Orndorff and Vader? Like the story.
as I recall,
Yeah.
Vader was being a dick about something in the locker room. And Orndorff told him to knock it off, and he said no, and was flipping off to Orndorff, and Orndorff literally in the locker room with flip-flops on beat the shit out of Vader.
Yeah.
Like that's the thing about a big guy is a big guy. If you can get a couple shots in their face, most of them drop because they're not used to being punched in the face. Now that being said, I've seen Vader fuck some dudes up. Vader legitimately broke Joe Thurman's back.
Yeah,
like,
he did. Yeah.
Vader was a tough dude, but Paul Orndorff was just tough and ornery and mean.
Yeah.
Like,
He was
Paul
just like he's a Florida redneck that was also
Yeah.
a star football player that could fuck you up.
Paul Orndorff was so tough that he had this herniated disc in his neck where he lost all the muscle in his left arm, and he built it up so much that although it was the smaller arm of the two, significantly smaller, it was the stronger arm. That's just fuck you. Like that's you trained because fuck you. Like Paul Orndorff's on a different level of crazy.
I was watching. I don't know why, because I'm a maniac. But I just had the TV to myself for like 2 hours last night, and I was watching 1978 Mid-South on YouTube, and like it's young Paul Orndorff, and he is. They had this whole issue. So the show starts. Now we're off on a tangent, but
sure.
The show starts. It's Boyd Pierce and Leroy McGurk, right? And they're just kind of talking about. There was an issue between Paul Orndorff and Ernie Ladd.
Mike, I want to put that in that. I want to put that really quickly. The show announcers were Boyd Pierce and Leroy McGurk.
Leroy McGurk,
blind as a fucking bat. Leroy McGurk was doing commentary on the show.
Well, you're gonna kill my punchline.
Sorry.
So
sorry, I didn't realize that was a joke.
So you're burying the lead, JD.
Sorry.
But yeah, that's the. Well, they were introducing the show. Bill Watts comes and replaces Leroy McGurk after that. But they're talking about the Paul Orndorff and Ernie Ladd feud and how they have instant replay overturned Paul Orndorff's victory, so he's no longer the NWA United States champion. And then Leroy McGurk says, "You fucking ruined it." He goes, "All right, fans, we're going to see a great night of action tonight." And I was like, "Leroy, you're not seeing shit."
Sorry.
And then little did I know they were bringing in Bill Watts to replace him, and so and I got to see Cowboy Bob Ellis wrestle. And
oh wow, really?
Outlaw Ron. I'd never seen Bob Ellis wrestle before. I'll send you the video.
Yeah,
in 1978 Mid-South, just randomly on YouTube. That's
awesome.
So yeah,
I love YouTube because I like that WWE doesn't care about this copyrights anymore with their older stuff. So now cool things are getting posted. Like I think they just posted a great Muda compilation from 89-90 that just absolutely rules.
Yeah. The WCW Vault, really good. And then like random stuff like channels on YouTube are just posting old like NWA content and like Mid-South and stuff. So I had never seen 78 Mid-South, so it's good stuff.
Me neither. I have to check that out.
Yeah, for sure. All right. Well, we have gone overtime. We were supposed to do an overtime episode. I was gonna maybe we should just do the NFL players on overtime, but I advertised it. So I had to give it to people. Yeah. So we'll do something later this week for overtime for sure. We'll go to patreon.com/the Mike and JD show. I think that's going to do it for us this week. Thanks to everybody in the comments. You kept it lively. I appreciate you. Thanks everybody. If you want to check us out again, patreon.com/the Mike and JD show. And until next time, mahalo.
Competition starting to get thick, it's the click, so I hope you watch your A game. A made no rain from the track when we unite and spit. This isn't A game. game, better bring your A game. Competition starting to get thick, it's the click, so I hope you work your A game. 8 mate,